warm welcome to our week of Rugby League, very proudly brought to you by the Winfield Company. We're going to show you all the highlights from the National Panasonic Cup clash last Wednesday night at Leichhardt Oval between North Sydney and Western Suburbs, all the action from Saturday, Wollongong Showground, the Steelers and the Raiders, the Illawarra Park clash, Manly versus West, the State Bank big game, of course, and all the highlights from every game involved in Series 3 of the '87 Winfield Cup. But first, last Wednesday night was the venue, the National Panasonic Cup, the clash between North Sydney and Western Suburbs.
North Sydney there on the screen. MacArthur, Lennon, Tate, Florimo, Keir, McCaffrey, Friend, Cannon, Graham, French, Bella, Wright and Toole. The coach, of course, a rather disgruntled one would think, Frank Stanton. The Western Suburbs side flying high at the moment. They're all the rage up there at Campbelltown, Arana Park. Petherbridge, McCoy, Gale, Naden, Geelan, Davis, Cogger, Schubert, Elias, Bilberger, White, Fella, Webster, and the coach, of course, is Steve Goshen. Cogger, first man off the ruck on the open side, tries to scurry through, but there's plenty of defence there. Right. They're coming back the blind side. Bilberger to Schubert, trying to get the arms round the tackle. He's in rare form at the moment. Watched his tape of the game against Parramatta, had a blinder. Long floating pass to Davis. Scott Gale trying to... Oh, he got the pass away. The referee's going to rule on it. It's been ruled forward. That's going to bring the West fans undone. But I subscribe to the view. He was probably right on that one. We'll see it again. Brett Gale was the man who got the arms through the tackle. And there it was. Yes, in my view, no question about it. There was Petherbridge coming on the outside and on the burst. A good decision, in my view, by Annesley. The scrum going down with a North Sydney feed, and a rather anguished look you will note on the face of Frank Stanton there as we saw him in the stand. That's a scrum went to North Sydney. Clayton Friend running on the open side. Inside the 5 against Western Suburbs. He's got about 3 of them there. Florimo onto Martin Bella. Busted the first tackle. A good charging run from the prop. About a 15-metre gain. Clayton Friend links there nicely with Adrian Toole. He takes it up to the quarter. Right. Friend, Cannon. Beautiful pass there out to the fullback. MacArthur chiming in. He's side down there with a good low tackle by Elias. Moving it out along the left again. Here's a Florimo. Oh, it's a beautiful break there on the inside by number 9 there for the North Sydney side, Mark Graham. And the referee is going to rule a try. And Frank Stanton at last has got a smile on his face. It was more of a grimace there. But Mark Graham took the bit between his teeth there. He must have heard you, I think, Graeme Hughes. That's a beautiful run, really. He was travelling at great pace as we watch the National Panasonic replay. Here he hits the ball. And the big step off the left foot, the quick acceleration for a 15.5-stone man. He's got tons of pace. He elects at that stage that he's got a possibility of scoring if he can just surge through that last yard. And the big wind-up and roll-over, he's got it down. Again, we watch it from the different angle slightly. Now watch the big step off the left foot, and that's the one that put Davis off. He went right inside him, wrong-footed him completely. Petherbridge took him high. He was able to sort of dispossess him, and Petherbridge eventually sort of semi-pulled him over the line. Annesley well positioned to rule on that touchdown. So first blood, and the kick from MacArthur, a left foot around the corner kick, didn't have the length or the direction. So the score, North Sydney 4, West 0. And young Brett Davis there will have learned a lesson, hopefully, from that standing off and watching a man with a big sidestep go. But there's been a change of possession there with Western Suburbs coming up with it. John Elias has stolen the ball. Out to Schubert. Schubert dummies on the inside. Swivels, goes back the other way. They're on the North Sydney quarter. Fella. Out to Elias. Gets a pass away nicely to Schubert. Schubert's on the boil. Looking for support. He can't get a pass away. They're only about 7 metres out now from a North Sydney defence, and a failure to get away from the tackle player by McCaffrey is going to be ruled on. And Graham Mark Graham being spoken to there, or advised that he won't tolerate that from the North Sydney players. The third penalty for holding down a player in 8 minutes of action. There's a successful kick from Nathan. So after about 9 minutes by the official clock over there, we've got a scoreline that reads North Sydney 4, Wests 2. North Sydney working the blind side out to Bella. Bella got a good pass there to Ian French, playing in the second row. Been moved away from the lock job. Spinning it out to Clayton Friend. McCaffrey to Florimo, run around, cut out pass straight to MacArthur. Good footwork, looks for support, finds it, got it away to Cannon, gets it away there to Lennon. The former Rugby Union international came back on the inside. He's got a good eye to keep away from the sideline. Bella showing a good step. Sergi gets it past beautifully. Lovely pass there, right on to Clayton Friend, and he's in underneath the post. That's a top bit of gear, that one. Oh yeah. See that again on the National Panasonic replay, and enjoy a smart bit of prop forward play. Watch the big surge from Martin Bella. Really hits the ball hard. Goes strongly. The bit of a swerve off his right foot. Gets the arms free. And there, straight onto the waiting Clayton Friend, who says thanks very much, is over underneath the post. That's exactly where a small halfback should be, running in support of a big man too. Beautiful football. 2 tries to the North Sydney side. We've got 5 minutes to go to half time as we watch it again from another angle. Great stuff. MacArthur's kick from directly in front is successful. So the North Sydney side, with 5 minutes to go to the to the quarter time break, come up with a scoreline that reads North Sydney 10, Western Suburbs 2. A fella now for Western Suburbs. West in possession with a white uniform with a black V. And they've got it all to do at the moment. Running out of time with this breeze at their back is Naden belting it downfield. MacArthur takes it magnificently. Beautiful catch. Was flying as he took it. And the little fella very nearly lost the football there. Nearly slipped out of his grasp. Lennon takes it in dummy half, gets a pass away. It's gone to Clayton Friend. Runs away from the sideline. Tough little rooster. Gets a pass on to Wright. Wright gets over the halfway line. He's a pocket Hercules, this Clayton Friend. Now we've got Davis being penalised for just standing and straddling over the top there of Rex Wright and not allowing him to get up. Watch it again. It is senseless. The time wasted. You can see it just took so long. Mark Cannon's kick takes it about 5 metres beyond the 10-metre line. Here we go with a tap restart. Bella winds up and goes straight at him. Clayton Friend. Looking, oi, there's a high one. That looked to be a high tackle to me. See that again on the replay, and I think he's going to be, I think there's going to be a player set from the field of this incident. I think it's Elias, and he's off. It was up ahead, there's no question about it. It didn't ricochet off the shoulder. Elias sent from the field, not Sidbin, sent from the field. Let's see it one more time, just so long as we're not doing this guy an injustice. The rules state the tackles must be below the shoulders. Now that's right across the mouth. You can see always the feet go forward and the body stays still in those situations. Graeme Hughes, a comment?
Oh, well, you take a look back to what's occurred over the last weekend in Winfield Cup football, and I guess you can't have any argument. John Elias himself noticed the monitor alongside me as he wandered off the field. He wanted to have a look. You know, these sorts of things happen where players start to argue. They go chest high and arms all of a sudden ricochet up around the neck and head area. Well, everybody has seen it for themselves. I can't think there's any argument.
Okay, so we've got to be fair as we possibly can. That's Elias. The charge will almost indubitably be attacking the head of a player in possession of the ball. The kick from MacArthur looks excellent, and indeed it is. He cut that ball back nicely with the breeze across him, so the score just a couple of points further away. North Sydney 12, Western Suburbs 2. And from the kickoff, MacArthur brings it out about 15 metres. Mark Graeme doing a lot of directing of traffic at the moment, telling his players where to go and what to do. He's standing on the open side of the ruck. He's got the ball now. Does a little shuffle, gets Toole through a gap, gets it to Clayton Friend. Friend lobs a pass nicely. It's gone outside there beautifully to French. French got it away to Lennon. They won't catch him. That's the rugby union man, and he can hike, I can tell you. Straight up the sideline, as strong as you please. Plenty of pace, and all started with a very little clever bit of football by Mark Graeme. And watch it here, the little shuffle as he goes left, then right, sucks the defence to him, gets it away nicely to Toole. Toole one-handed, clever stuff to Clayton Friend, nearly dropped it. National Panasonic replay looking very good. There she goes, out on the outside, and the long pass out to Lennon. Now Lennon then says, although he's carrying the ball in the wrong hand, and he's pursued by the Western Suburbs skipper Schubert, he knows he's got the try on his sights. It was great stuff. You enjoyed that try, Graeme Hughes?
Great football from Mark Graeme to set that up, and Lennon with plenty of pace. Western Suburbs virtually on their heels now after having John Elias sent off. One of their best defenders in real trouble now. North Sydney will be very keen just to keep hitting this ball up in the middle of the rucks and then finding the backs out wide.
Yes, that was a quality bit of football, and the score becoming a bit of an embarrassment right now. We'll wait and see what this kick holds. John MacArthur, he's 8 metres in from the sideline. He kicked one just a moment ago from a similar sort of an area, about 3 metres outside the quarter. He struck it, but he's hooked that one. So the score remains as it was, with only about 9 minutes to go to half-time. North Sydney 16, Western Suburbs 2. Here's Tate running strongly. Big raw-boned individual, big knees, high knee action. Pass too hard, well picked up by Cannon. That pass looked a little bit shocking. It's gone to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's made a good run. It's gone to Lennon. He takes it on the bounce, picks it up well. You can't ask a winger to do much better than that. French on to Cannon. The kick ahead. Featherbridge flies high, loses it. It's taken by Graeme. Graeme gives it to Lennon, and Lennon's in for the try. And I give him full marks. Graeme, I think he could have scored that himself. But he took the odds to it. And a good captain's knock there by Graeme Hughes. He's having a big game. And we've got a player down injured, but let's watch that National Panasonic replay at the moment. There's Cannon's well-judged little kick. High in the air. Featherbridge is put under a lot of pressure. The ricochet goes to Mark Graeme, and he gets it away to Lennon. Lennon wrapped up hard by Schubert. Looked to be legitimate to me. The try's been given.
You take a line through all these performances of the top sides. Mark Graeme, Steve Mortimer, Peter Sterling. When they're hot, their sides are hot. I said before, he's the man that had to produce the big one tonight. He's been involved in everything. Again, he's the man on the spot. Picks up the pass. Possibly could have scored the try himself. Has a hand in it and sends Lennon on his way once more.
I tell you what, that was a great last-minute tackle of Schubert's there too. Another 2 inches, and he'd have had him over the touch-and goal line and no try. MacArthur from just outside the quarter strikes it well. He's hooked it again. So that was a critical try, bringing the score up to 20 points to 2. Would I suggest a half-time hooter as I speak, just about to go. West come up with the scrum. There's Gillen chiming in on the open side. They'll need all the big guns. They'll need to use all their players in all their attacks. Bilberger out to Gale. Gale got a pass away. It's gone to Featherbridge. Featherbridge on the fly. Goes up towards the quarter. Can't get a pass away. Put down. Now West's line very deep. Can they spin it out? Out to Naden. On to Fowler. Schubert puts it down. Well, that's a pity. He's been going very well. And got a rather, so we say, fatherly pat on the head there by Mark Graeme. That's just to say, well, bad luck. There it was. Martin Villa meets with Freeman. Webster was there too. Adrian Toole on the halfway line. Rex Wright. Looking for Clayton Friend. Mark Graham. Big swivel. Got to pass away nicely to Friend. Friend caught by the jersey by Naden and backslam. Here's Naden. He's really getting stuck in. There he is. Oh, he's got Villa, but it's a legitimate shoulder charge. Taken by Featherbridge. Feeds it out to Geelan. Geelan goes upfield, comes back inside, and Villa stands his ground, and by heavens, the boys are getting a bit anxious out there at the moment. Gale on to Geelan. Tackling ferocious. Just a look at some of the statistics, the lost ball situation. Before the third tackle, North have lost it 12 times and West 11. And Mr. Annesley moves in to penalise North Sydney for inside the 5. And Mark Graham being called up. With a spirited showing on the opening 9 minutes of this third quarter, Graeme Hughes.
You can never knock the Western Suburbs spirit. They never know when to give up, and that is because they simply don't. 20 points to 2. You would think at the moment, the way the crowd and their own supporters are getting behind them, there'll be only 3 or 4 points difference in the scores. West always do play this entertaining style of football, but tonight it's producing a lot of errors, and Western Suburbs, of course, the instructions from their coach Steve Goshen has been to use the ball up for the 5 and 6 tackles. That has happened on very few occasions.
Fella. Away she goes out to Webster. He's tackled about 18 metres out from the North Sydney line. Sills back to Schubert. Schubert dummies, stops, props, gives it to Freeman. Freeman runs into trouble there. Rex Wright's the defender. Cogger. Davis. Beautiful tackle right round the boots there by Clayton Friend. Featherbridge, little kick over the top, could get to it, knocks it forward, tried to regather, and it's gone into the end goal where Geelan falls on it, but it will be a knock on in about 5 metres out from the line. A quality bit of play, really. He tried desperately to get to it. How had he been able to regather that before it hit the ground? I don't think the referee would have ruled it was intentionally knocked forward to Mark Graham. Big fella just having a quiet third quarter, but he's had a great game, really. There's French weaving nicely there onto Graham. Graham stands in the tackle, gets it to Clayton Friend. Friend scurries up the blind side, throws a dummy. It's a great try to the little bloke. Laid on by his skipper. And a really top-class bit of football there. He took the odds to changing the direction of the attack and went from the open side of the ruck to the blind side. There's French starting the little travail upfield. Out to Graham. Graham stood in a tackle, turns it back, and you see Clayton Friend go right angles and go towards the sideline, and then suddenly straight throws the big dummy, and he certainly didn't show any lack of pace there. Again, from head on, French, a very good inroad he made. Schubert finally able to just hold him enough to get the pass away to Graham, Mark Graham, and a basketball-type pass out to Clayton Friend. Brett Gale done for pace on that occasion. Featherbridge arriving a little bit too late, and a fine try. He's second for the match. And now McCaffrey's taking the kick at goal, and the kick is unsuccessful. Well, they've tried everyone except you, Graeme Hughes. Why don't you offer to go and have a kick?
They don't need me at this stage.
10 metres out from the North Sydney quarter line, Freeman. Now 5 metres out from the quarter, midfield. Offside. No point in West taking a kick at goal. 24 points to 2. They've got to keep the ball alive. And Rex Wright's been sent from the field for Sinbin. Graeme Hughes.
Simply for continual infringements within the 5 metres. Western Suburbs, as you say, nothing else now except spinning the ball about in these last 2 and 3 minutes of the third quarter.
Okay. Davis at dummy half, throws the dummy, gets it to Schubert. Nicely back inside to Cogger. Cogger goes within, well, a yard of scoring the try. It was a beautifully conceived move. Out to Freeman. Freeman throws the dummy when he had a 3-man overlap. Oh, heavens above. Some of the players outside him were shaking their heads in despair then. There was no defence out wide. As the kick being put into the end goal area, it's over the dead ball line. It'll be a restart from the line. Touch judges in at the moment. And really, Freeman had no right to die with the ball on that occasion. He should quite definitely, as we watch the replay of the end product of it all, it was a try in the corner to West there if Freeman unloads the ball. McCaffrey being spoken to. Clayton Friend, very powerful little fella. Out to Brockwell. Well tackled by McCoy. And again. Is McCoy again, pulling off 3 tackles in a row. Out to Toole, goes straight up the blind side. Got a pass away there to number 4, Greg Florimo. They're still on the quarter. Clayton Fred, Mark Graham, McCaffrey. Nigel Tate stood in a tackle, 5 metres outside the quarter. McCaffrey, long floating pass, and Keir made no attempt to catch it. I think you could have caught that one, Graeme Hughes, from where you were sitting.
Well, it was certainly a desperation pass. He had nowhere to go, Steve Keir. You really couldn't blame him for that one. A very poor pass from McCaffrey.
Right on the quarter line, that scrum feed looked a bit shocky. The referee is happy about it. Gillen coming midfield. Strong player, busts them open. Got it to Petherbridge. Petherbridge is up towards the halfway. Out there to McCoy. McCoy back inside. It's on to Davis. And Davis will go and score a try. They're right going underneath the post. No. 10 yards to the right. Great attractive rugby league by the Western Suburbs Magpies, who've still got a few feathers left in their tail, even at this late stage of the game with 12 minutes to go. Watch it again from inside their own quarter. This is the man that started the rut. Gillen goes through the defence of Cannon, pushed him away. Petherbridge loomed up on the right like a battleship. Out it goes to Petherbridge. He goes through a tackle, gets his arms free, gets it out there nicely to McCoy. McCoy well back on the inside to Davis. Look at referee Annesley, he's not running badly either. Plenty of pace there for a referee. He stayed up with the action, and that's a good try to the Magpies. On the National Panasonic replay, watch it again from head on.
Magnificent try this from Western Suburbs. They do play a great brand of entertaining football, great rugby league. This man with the ball, Davis, finishes it off. We're just talking a few moments ago. Over he goes. It's not the Magpies' night, but a nice way to celebrate your 21st birthday.
Yes, indeed. And the kick and goal taken by Nate is unsuccessful. Oh, bless my soul. They couldn't win a, well, I better not say that. 24 points to 6 here at Leichhardt Oval. And me almost getting myself into trouble by using an expression I occasionally use in male company. It's won by Wests. There's the kick through by Petherbridge. The chase is on. Teasville will get there. Does very well. Oh, that's a penalty against Petherbridge. Heavens above. I don't know what a coach does when a player just doesn't know the rules and then shakes his head when the referee penalises him. Astonishing bit of football there by Petherbridge. He's dragged him 2 or 3 yards over the sideline. Watch it yourself. Look at this. And then watch him shake his head. Oh, well, we've cut out of it, but take my word, he shook his head. Well, there's the end of what has become a very dispirited performance by Western Suburbs, very disjointed, although they managed to come up with a try in the latter stages of the game. So they've had 5 tries scored against them. The tries have gone to 2 to Greg Lennon, 2 to Clayton Friend, 1 to Mark Graham, and a couple of goals to the North Sydney side. 1 try to Western Suburbs' Brett Davis, and 1 goal to Ian Nade. That's the story.
On to the Wollongong Showground clash last Saturday between the Illawarra Steelers and the Canberra Raiders. Both these sides are showing much improved form in 87. Now, it looked as though it was going to be a tough one for the Steelers because Canberra, well, they were looking to a very classy backline to get them home.
This time they'll come the open side. Henjack now. That's Jackson. And Jackson got the ball back on the inside to Belcher. Belcher slipped the pass. It's been picked up by Henjack. Henjack for the line. And little fellow's still going. He's only a couple of metres away. Canberra right on the attack. Walters into dummy half. The pass has been knocked down. It should be 6 to go. It is. So Canberra with a good opportunity. They're only 6 metres away. They'll send it out this side as they do now through Meninga. Meninga goes on his own. Slips the pass back to Walters. On it goes to Coyne. And Coyne might have lost the ball. It's loose on the ground and Haddock has it for Illawarra.
Desperation stakes there for the Steelers. That was good play, especially by the young centre Jackson. Slipped the ball back inside to the fullback Belcher, and there we saw the clash, David. The man linking through from the fullback, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for the Steelers' defence.
And there Illawarra again finding touch. A little bit fortuitous perhaps from Dean Carney's boot, but good players. Well, he even shakes his head. I think that says it all, Steve-O. I think the cheers were there for the kick, but I think Dean Carney's more or less saying there was a lot of luck in that and there wasn't much intent.
Certainly was, David, and lucky for him, it came off the outside of his left boot.
I was just about to say good players often make their own luck, but I think he more or less told the story in the end that there was no luck in it. But his mum Arlene is watching in Fig Tree Hospital this afternoon, so I hope you're enjoying it. Lovely photo on the front page of the Illawarra Mercury today, and let's hope that Dean can put in a big one. If he keeps having a little bit of luck go his way like that, it'll certainly be a good afternoon. But the penalty goes against Illawarra. It's Canberra with the ball just outside the quarter line, and that's Todd taking it up. He slipped a lovely pass away. So Walters. Now this is the other forward in Bacco, and Bacco's going almost all the way. Strength, determination. He's there, is he or not? Try, I think. It is. Fair try. Sam Bacco, the try scorer. It's 4-0.
Brilliant try, David. And this is what football's all about, running onto the ball at full speed. And the big guy, watch him come onto this. Express train, get out of my way. And they did. Now there you saw a defender there, and that was really bad play by Worthington. He didn't shape himself up, he held off, and the strength of this man takes and does the rest. Now you'll see this from the head-on shot. Now watch Worthington here. He hangs off, didn't want to know. Bacco says, out of my way, I'm going in. And this is not going to stop this fella. Boy, oh boy, look at the strength. Try number 1.
Canberra have got the ball midway, half and quarter line, inside their own territory as Meninga has it now. And again, so easily does he seem to evade the defenders. McIndoe's made a bit of a mistake of that attempted take, but he did knock it backwards, and so at least the Illawarra still retain possession. Larder runs it back towards the halfway line.
He may have made a meal of it, McIndoe, but it was good positioning by the wingman. He realised that the kick was on, and he was running that right the way back in the right spot.
Carberry to get up and play the ball just inside Illawarra's territory. Bolt, away it goes to big Chris Walsh. His first season with Illawarra, moving down from St George this season. Bolt sends it away the short side. Now the pass has come out towards Carney. Carney's out of one. He's over the quarter line. Can he get his pass back to Kelly? Kelly's knocked it on, but I think it's going to be a forward pass anyway. I wasn't sure whether maybe even Ferguson's hand might have touched the ball between Carney's pass getting into the hands of Kelly, but obviously the referee said no.
Well, just a bit of inexperience here by Carney. Now, he's trying to tell to the wingman, come inside, but he left it a little bit too late. And Kelly should have been in a little bit earlier than that.
Ball goes into that scrum, and it's going to be a penalty against Haddock. I think he could have just about pinched both of them for not retiring that side, but he's got Haddock.
Well, they can get them nearly every scrum, David, but...
well, you can get hookers in every scrum.
What's wrong with hookers?
Plenty.
He penalised the halfback. It says in the rules they both have to retire back. He didn't, penalty.
And Kevin Roberts telling the Illawarra Steelers they've got to get back the 10 metres. Gee, that was a nice tackle. The referee's going to cook. He's off. He sent him off.
My word.
In fact, Todd has been sent off.
For using the elbow.
Using the elbow.
Well, this is quite explicit. The picture tells 1,000 words.
Well, there's no doubts about that. I saw Walsh, he didn't flinch, he just came up and took the man ball and all. And I was just about to say, what a good ball and all tackle. And it shows you how tough Chris Walsh is, because he took a very heavy knock. As you can see, he's a bit gingerly on his feet, but Todd has been banished for the remainder of the match, and he'll be in at the judiciary on Monday night. So Canberra now, they might be leading 6-0, but they've got their backs to the wall as they have the ball just inside Illawarra's territory, and Taking it up this time is Walters. He's tackled 11 metres Illawarra's side of halfway. Now that's O'Sullivan going straight across the field, trying to link up out there with Fay, which he does in the end. Fay trying to get away from McInerney. Back it goes to Henjack. Henjack down over the quarter line. The little man still going. He tried to get the pass back on the inside, and Larder's got it for Illawarra.
Well, a wasted chance there by the Canberra Raiders, but I've been very impressed with them, David. They're keeping this ball. Oh, dearie me.
And that's another mistake from Chris Withall.
I was just about to say, David, they've kept this ball alive, Canberra, and they really are. It's going to be an exciting outfit, 87.
Well, that's two mistakes now that Chris has made almost in the same area. Dropped the ball twice, and certainly that is giving Canberra some great opportunities. Mal Meninga going on his own. Big Mal, can he get there on his own? Pops the pass up. Ferguson scores. Good football from Big Mal. Held it up originally, went through the gaping hole. He could have scored himself. He's such a big and strong man, but unselfishly gave the ball to Chicka Ferguson. It's 10-0.
Boy, oh boy, David, right out of the magician's hat, this one. Watch the beautiful dummy. He holds it up, a beautiful long ball from Henjack. Now you'd think that he's going to bring Belcher onto the ball. Whoops, there he goes. Now you see it, now you don't. And the big fella strides through. Now Carney goes low, he does the right thing, just gets his shirt. And the big fella could have gone on his own, did the right thing. Ferguson in the right spot at the right time. A good try. Oh, but what a dummy. Oh, there you see it, now you don't. And they say this guy's going to eventually finish up in the forwards. Not if he keeps going through like that. That's sheer skill and strength. Unorthodox pass over the top. Ferguson says, I'll do that all day.
And now we're about to see Mal Meninga try and convert the try. That's the touchline just behind him, so he's about 8 metres in from touch. Might only be 6. Moving in. There's the kick. It looks pretty good. Right off the boot, over the black dot. 2 more points to Canberra. And the Raiders have skipped away to lead by 12 points to 0, despite the fact that they've got Brent Todd sent off for that use of the elbow in the tackle involving Chris Walsh. With the ball going into this scrum, it should be a Canberra ball. We might get a chance to go down and see what's happening on the sidelines. Here's Ian Hansen.
Can't believe how bad these Illawarra forwards are playing. They're just walking out there. It's unbelievable. They've got to up their tempo and make Mal Meninga play the ball.
They're going up in 1s and 2s, aren't they? They're giving him all the time in the world to step off either the left or the right boot and give himself plenty of room for the kicks. And here comes Big Mal down the centre of the ruck, taking a bit of pressure off the forwards, which they'll probably need in the second half a bit, with one man short, as O'Sullivan gets the pass away to Coyne. And Coyne is just inside Illawarra's territory, back towards the centre of the field. They'll come the short side away to Meninga. He's going to kick for touch, and there's the kick. And Kelly has come way up off his line. And Meninga, spotting this, said thank you very much, and slots the ball in behind Kelly, way from Larder, the fullback. And he's found touch only 10 metres out. Perfection.
Tremendous kick here, David. As you said, the wingman, as you can see, well up. And Meninga, all the time in the world and all the space in the world, pop it in the right place.
Well, we heard a few stories during the week that Wayne Bennett had told Mal that he has to lift his game. If that's happened, it's had the desired effect. He's having a blinder in the first half of this match.
Very constructive game indeed, David. I think he's the type of guy, and Don Ferner on the tour mentioned this, you've got to keep on at him all the time. The players have got to keep him G'd up. But boy, if he can keep this up, and it spells danger for the Steelers.
So the Steelers with the ball. Again, it's Haddock who has to do so much of that work in close to the ruck. Withall gets the ball back to the quarter line. With the exception of that clean break made by Carney, who has the ball now. I can't remember another one made by Illawarra in the first half. And Carney's ball is collected comfortably by Ferguson, who scored the second try. Got his pass away from Belcher, and Belcher's in a bit of open space here. Belcher coming down to the quarter line. He's got O'Sullivan in support. O'Sullivan for the line, throws the pass back on the inside to Jackson, and Jackson will score a super try. Oh, have a look at this again. Absolute class.
Tremendous play. Now you see 5 players went for one man. That's where the try came from. Belcher took the ball, stepped inside. The forward's just waiting for him. Look at the speed of this guy, the fullback. Perfect positioning by O'Sullivan. And over he goes. Take your pick, Pay or Jackson. Jackson says, give it to me. The banana boy goes in right underneath the post. Beautiful play by the wingman here, but 5 Illawarra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you see me, now you don't. Put on the pace, through the forwards, out of the way, Kevin. The referee says they'll oblige. Now look at the positioning of the halfback here. Beautiful play by O'Sullivan. Draws the man, over it goes. You won't get them any better or any easier than that.
We're about to see Mal Meninga have his third shot at goals of the afternoon. From right in front of the posts. Moves in, has no troubles with the extras, and so Canberra lead Illawarra by 18 points to 0. So here comes Canberra with the ball on tackle number 5, just out from their own quarter line. They tried to get a kick in a moment ago, and now they'll get the chance, and it's Belcher who belts the ball high in the air, straight down the throat of Larder, back on his own quarter line, and this is going to be a penalty. Now this one will be before... It's against O'Sullivan, and basically what it's for is that O'Sullivan was well in front of Belcher when he
had to play the ball.
He was, well, basically what happened was as soon as the ball was played, O'Sullivan went herring off down the field even before Belcher got it. So he was almost to the position where Larder kicks for touch when Belcher actually kicked it.
Well, it's an unusual one. It's in the rule book. There's not many referees utilise it these days.
We have seen it a couple of times though this year, and it's one that I think should be applauded really, because sometimes a lot of players go screaming downfield, put pressure on, and they've really come from offside positions. Haddock taking the ball down the centre as the second rower this time, Worthington, and seems to have recovered from that early knock. 10 metres inside Canberra's territory. Well, they're desperate at the moment, the Steelers. They work at the blind side to upfield. Upfield, a little chip and chase. He's regathered. Clark comes back on the infield. Super try coming up to Steve Larder. Oh, that's a magnificent reply.
This is just what the doctor ordered. Good switch to the blind side. And you'll see here the lock forward, a beautiful little chip here. Now watch the inside flick pass. Uh-oh. And Larder come onto it like an express train, in for a beautiful try. That certainly lifts their spirits. I was just about to say that they have to keep the ball alive. Well, they certainly do it here. Good play by the lock, as I say. Now watch out for this little flick inside. He knows that Larder's there. Didn't have to look. Great football. And the fullback in for the Steelers' first try. And is this the road back?
So here comes Dean Carney, the chance to add the extras. Moves in, the kick is successful. And so they've registered 6 points, Illawarra. Canberra leading Illawarra by 18 points to 6. So we're out to put... There's Illawarra. Ball goes in, and now they've got another chance through Larder, and Larder's got them. He's up over the halfway. Ferguson coming across. Ferguson won't stop him. The ball comes off Ferguson, and Ferguson's got the ball. Well, the attempted pass was coming back on the inside for Kelly, who was backing up, and alas for Larder, the cupboard was bare.
Certainly was, David. There was no bones about it, because Larder really should have kept hold of this ball. The pass was never on. Now, that was good play, good step. Look at the speed of the guy. He really put it on. But this is the point where he should never have tried. Henjak did the right thing. He put himself between the supporting player. He should have kept hold of it.
And now Meninga's made big inroads. That's a beautiful ball away to Belcher. Belcher's pass finds Ferguson. A good juggling it. He's going to keep the ball alive. He doesn't have to. Oh, this is vintage Chicker. And they're in again, the Raiders. He showed more class than Pop-Off the Clown that time, the way he juggled that ball, but again, it was Meninga who caused all of the early thrust and the perfect ball to Belcher, who timed his pass to perfection, and Ferguson did the rest.
Sheer class, sheer quality, but it's a beautiful ball here that sets Meninga through. Jackson puts him through the gap. The strength does all the rest. On to Belcher. That's beautiful linking from the full-back. Not the best of passes. Juggle it, turn it inside out. Now then, this is where the babies start coming in. One dummy, and oops, now you see me, now you don't. And Steve Larder, the hero just seconds before it, making that great break, made a poor attempt.
So Meninga now with the chance to add the extras from almost in front. And that might be just about curtains for Illawarra, Steve-O. 22 points to 6. If Illawarra had been able to score first in the second half, well, they had a big chance to come back, but Here's Meninga's kick, and it looks pretty good, and it's 2 more points, so he's got 4 out of 4, Big Mal, today. He's had a blinder to boot, both in general play with his kicking and magnificent running. He's been very much involved in setting up 2 of Canberra's tries. It's 24 points to 6.
There we see Hetherington taking the ball up. Hasn't been seen much today. In fact, there hasn't been many star players, if any, on the Illawarra side. Been one continuous mistake after mistake. Well, Robert's shouting at the Canberra side, and really there's a lot of the radius side offside. They've been creeping up all the game. But if he can get away with it, and here's a chance now. There's Hetherington racing it through, one of the very few breaks. Back inside now, Worthington making the break, and once again, that vital pass has gone astray. No, Robert said he was interfered with, and that's a good ruling by the referee. Just caught a glimpse of that. Now, you see, this is a good run by Worthington, back inside to the wingman. And Kelly gets it back inside there, and he was interfered. You just see it out of the play there. O'Sullivan did take Worthington out of the play. Good referee by Robert.
And they've found it, so they've got to try and put the pressure on from only a few metres out. And now taking it down the centre, Illawarra get within about 4 metres of that Canberra line. They need some points quickly. Haddock holds the pass up. That's Hetherington. Hetherington can't get through that Canberra defence. He's 9 metres away. Carney into dummy half. Carney goes on his own, down the blind side. He gets within about 5 metres. Upfield holds the pass up for Worthington, and he'll score! Worthington is in, and so the Illawarra Steelers have hit back. That's probably the softest try of the day, but the most important one so far for Illawarra.
Well, that'll certainly confuse the footy tub punters there. 24 points to 10, kick to come right in front. This beautiful play. A good play by the lock forward, switches the ball inside, and there you see Worthington going in for a well-deserved try. Things haven't gone their way. Notice a little flick, and this, for once, the Canberra defence was stretched. The hooker went the wrong way and realised too late.
And he should convert the try, which he does, and so there's only 12 points in it again. Canberra leading Illawarra by 24 points to 12. And the point I was about to make is that 2 inside passes from the very talented lock forward Paul Upfield have been the final passes for Illawarra's 2 tries.
Yes, good play, and if there is any star on the Illawarra side, I suppose you'd have to point to the lock forward Upfield. He at least is trying things. But once again, David, it's been left up to individuality rather than teamwork.
He's a very gifted footballer, Paul Upfield, and it's Jeff Hardy, the 5'8", who brings the ball out. Took that well and confidently in the in-goal area. They've got to go on with it now, Illawarra. Getting the ball out wide now is McIndoe. He's coming off the wing looking for a bit of work to do. I noticed Hetherington was out on the wing during that movement. McIndoe's got the ball back. He's offloaded it to Larder. Larder will have Hetherington on the inside in support. That's Hetherington. He just couldn't quite get the quick pass back to McIndoe. McIndoe's got it now. But that movement just broke down, and then he's lost the ball. Well, as you said before, Lady Luck just not smiling on the Illawarra Steelers. Good football, good linking up the blind side that time. And have a look at this again.
Certainly good play, and there we see the baller get out wide. Now, good run by Larder. Very, very strong, and got the ball back inside. Now, Hetherington did well here. He's not held down, gets himself and keeps the ball alive, but to no avail. The poor wingman, McIndoe, finally loses the ball, looking for the pass, really when he should have held on.
Actually, if Larder could have used quick hands back to Hetherington onto McIndoe, and they first crossed the halfway line, it could have been very interesting, but they just slightly overran the pass. Let's go down to the sideline and see what it looked from right in front of Ian Hansen.
Tremendous, David. It was really was a fantastic tackle from Ashley Gilbert, and the expression on that man's face when he was chasing Larder downfield showed the commitment that this Canberra team's got.
Well, now we see a penalty go against O'Sullivan for an incorrect feed.
Couldn't agree with you more, Hansel, there. I really feel that the introduction of Wayne Bennett come down as assistant coach to Ferner has really helped them. I've never seen a Canberra side look so as enthusiastic, and in fact, I've never really seen a side from Canberra that kept the ball alive as well.
And Gilbert's one of the new faces in this team this week too. They dropped Regan and also one of the other players, and he's got a holy spot in this team. He's doing the right thing to do it.
So Chris Walsh now with the ball for Illawarra, and they've got a chance to get right back into this game as Whittle goes the blind side. Whittle still going. He's only about 6 or 7 metres out. That's the try line you can see there where Kevin Roberts, the referee, is standing. Worthington, pass goes to McIndoe. It's gone loose. It's gathered up by Upfield, and Upfield, the lock forward, is within about 7 or 8 metres of the line. Going from dummy half. Worthington looking for his second. He's going to be held up. Well, he got over the line, but of course he had 5 Raiders there preventing him from getting the ball down. And now Illawarra, after they've lost the scrum, have given a penalty away. Again, a silly penalty for affecting a second tackle. And Meninga will certainly take his time and tell the Canberra Raiders to settle down. He'll kick for touch. Now a replacement coming to the sideline for the Steelers. It may be Graham Bradley. I think that Ian Hansen will certainly be able to qualify that. I'm certain it's Graham Bradley. Let's go down and find out from Ian Hansen.
Certainly is Graham Bradley, and I believe it's Steve Worthington, the try scorer, who's eventually succumbed to that knock in the first half. He's been replaced.
Well, he's been in the wars as Worthington. He's certainly lifted his game in the second half. He'll be disappointed to leave the field. It's obviously injury to the shoulder, I feel.
O'Sullivan kicking for touch, and that's pinpoint accuracy, and he'll find it only 17 metres away from the line.
I said earlier, David, that's the type of tactics that the Raiders have to use. Of course, they were leading to that point. There you see, giving himself plenty of time, and there's the open spaces. Wingman failing to drop back. Just a lacking concentration once again by the Steelers.
Into that scrum, and they've won one against the head. O'Sullivan gets it away the open side. Henjack, the belcher up on the line. Jackson, he thought about throwing the pass, a little pirouette. He's been overrun initially by Meninga. He's only 10 metres away. The ball's gone from O'Sullivan out to Belcher again. Belcher back on the inside comes Lance, and Lance has got within about 7 or 8 metres of the line. This is Canberra's chance to seal the match. The ball goes away again towards Jackson. Jackson's got his pass away there, but his knee knocked on. Illawarra have got the ball. And Haddock has it only 8 metres away. They live again, the Steelers. Out wide, the ball comes to McIndoe. McIndoe trying to get away. Quickly past to Whittle. Chris Whittle, good run from the prop forward. Up over the quarter line. And McIndoe is down in some pain, only about 10 metres out from his own line. I think he's done, he's certainly injured over there. He's in agony.
Yes, he twisted badly when Fay tackled him. And I hope it's not the knee. He's in a lot of pain. The Steelers rushing out a substitute straight away.
Yes, and you can see that there's someone, they're going to take him straight off. Certainly, what bad luck for McIndoe. Gee, I hope it's not serious, because if ever there's a young man that deserves an Aussie jersey or a chance to wear one, it's this fellow.
In a lot of pain, David.
It looks to be a knee injury, Alan McIndoe, but the Raiders are on the attack here. O'Sullivan back in amongst the forwards. He slipped it away to Ferguson, and Ferguson, very wiry and very strong. They're only 18 metres away here, the Raiders, as Walters sends it away again to O'Sullivan. Now taking it up as the prop forward, and getting within about 12 metres of the line there is Bacco. I'll send it back the open side. O'Sullivan has another shot at field goal, and that one again has gone through the post. Another one for O'Sullivan. So it's 25 points to 12, and that might be just enough. That 13 points buffer zone, that means they have to score 3 times Illawarra, and that might seal their fate.
Good thinking by the halfback. Took his opportunity well. 25-12, that out point.
Here comes Whittle. They're just going one out at the moment. You can even hear some of the spectators in the background from the Steelers camp getting very frustrated with their side's performance. Last tackle, and they've lost the ball, and Jackson's got it for Canberra, and so the Raiders are on the attack again. They're only about 17 metres out. Ferguson with the ball. Ferguson, he's evaded one. He's got within 11 metres. What a mighty footballer he's been over the years, John Ferguson. He's down injured too. He's injured his right knee, I think. I remember John Ferguson the first time I ever saw him, actually. Mike was playing for Glen Innes against South Grafton at McKittrick Park one afternoon, and I've never seen so many people roll up in a country town just to watch a trial game.
Good spot as well, Glen Innes.
Well, it was a Grafton, this one.
I didn't realise you were that old, David.
Well,
maybe a few years ago. Here you see, this is how he Well, he's run straight into the big fella, Chris Walsh and Withall. And with Withall coming down on top of it, I'm not surprised he's caught an injury there.
Well, let's hope this injury to John Ferguson isn't serious. When he first went down, it didn't look all that bad, Mike, but obviously when the trainer got out there, he seemed fairly intent on coming off. So if it is a twisted knee or something, you're better off coming off and ensuring that you get the ice onto it immediately or the treatment starting. Here's another replacement coming on now for Canberra. And now the ball out wide from Jackson. He got that ball away, and look at the magnificent positioning of Belcher away. It goes to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan for the post, throws the ball back towards the youngster, and Young will score. Paul Young has scored the try.
Well, not a bad opening gambit for this young kid. He did a little bit of a juggling act. Bit of nerves. He realised that all he had to do was catch the ball and score the try. This really was good play again by the Raiders. They've really impressed me, David. They've kept the ball out wide in a beautiful pass, unseen from Jackson. And as I was mentioning, he's got tremendous time in this fullback. And as ever, O'Sullivan in support. He took away the defence, and the youngster said, oh, oh, oh. You'll remember that one. Beautiful ball. There you see Jackson. You realise that Belcher was coming through. That's having confidence in your players. Beautiful play. O'Sullivan on hand. Notice how he takes away. He pulls the defence to him. There you see the Steelers. No one at home. The youngster says, juggle, juggle, but I'll remember that.
Believe it or not, that boy was discovered in the park last year, halfway through the season. That's his first ever try in first grade.
Now Illawarra with a chance to try and add some late points. Kissel the run round with Haddock. The ball goes back towards Hardy, who's in the centres at this stage. Kissel goes the blind side. He's going to try and link up with Bradley, which he does. Bradley coming down to the quarter line. He's got to pass away. Coming back on the inside is Saunders, and Saunders will score. A belated effort, but Illawarra are in for another 4-pointer.
And well deserved, David. They threw the ball out wide. Remember, Canberra, they realise this game is all over. With full credit to the Steelers, at least they're keeping the ball out wide. This is one of the few occasions where they created something. Good run from the dummy half position. Then the ball goes out wide. And a beautiful dummy. It looked as though it was going to come inside. And there we see Bellamy and Owen Saunders going in for a well-deserved try. Consolation here. But this is one of the few. Now we see Kessel go across. A beautiful long ball. And Bradley, watch Bradley. He does well here. Looks as though the ball's going to go inside. Slips it out. Good play by the winger. And Saunders scoots away, not a person in front of him, and a good consolation try.
Owen Saunders, tremendous try. He was one of the players who sparked the comeback for the Steelers in reserve grade, but it's a bit too late today.
And there's the attempted conversion from Lada, and it doesn't really even reach the goalpost. He really did muff that. And so the score, 29 points to 16.
Last season was a good one. The game's on the up and up. This year, it'll be even better. The battle for the Winfield Cup. True, we've lost some giants. They were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns. They promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. 'Cause whether unknown or famous, you gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
The State Bank big game, of course, took us out west last Sunday to Arana Park in Campbelltown, where the Magpies found themselves at home against Manly Warringah, and everyone was asking the question, could they recapture their form of only a week ago when they disposed of the 86 champions, Parramatta?
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
welcome to Arana Park, Campbelltown, for this Winfield Cup clash between Western Suburbs and Manly Warringah. Last weekend, West were the giant killers when they took on Parramatta in their first premiership match at their new home ground and soundly defeated them by 32 points to 16. The Magpies team today is changed. Petherbridge at fullback, McCoy, Gale, Naden, Allenson on the wing for Geelan, Davids, Cogger, Schubert, Bilberger, Tronk, Freeman, Falla and Ellis. The coach, of course, is Steve Goshen. Manly also had a big win last weekend when they defeated Penrith by 42 points to 18. And their team lineup today is Williams at fullback, Park, Shearer, O'Connor, Ronson, Meredith, Hasler, Lyons is out, Borton goes to lock, Barclay and Gibbs are in the second row, Brokenshire, Cochrane and Daly are the front row. Bobby Fulton is the coach. And away they go. Ian Schubert, the captain of the Western Suburbs side, gets them away. The ball being taken there by Darryl Williams, the fullback for the Manly Warringah side, and a very strong breeze, as far as I'm aware, blowing from behind the Western Suburbs side, confirming that, Graeme Hughes.
Yes, it was blowing, in fact, the other direction earlier in the afternoon. I don't know what time the two skippers made the toss. Manly Warringah, they're obviously the way the Western Suburbs kicked off, Manly, of course, winning the toss and deciding to run against the breeze. I don't know if the toss decision was made there before this wind changed around. Very, very strong, very blustery conditions. Definitely worth 6 to 8 points. And
magnificent day, more attuned really to the beach than playing rugby league. Ball's gone downfield. It's gone to the wing three-quarter out there on the right wing. Steve McCoy, who's a pacey little article and gets himself around the field in all sorts of positions. So West just inside their own half. There's Tronk coming up. He's a replacement player. Handled there well by Michael O'Connor, the head-on tackle. There's McCoy running again from dummy half. And a very, very warm welcome for a first to RBN2 Wagga. The first time they're taking the telecast of the Sydney Rugby League live down there in the Riverina district, and we welcome them to the telecast. And a magnificent kick's just been put in by Western Suburbs and takes play up to the Manly Warringah quarter. There it is, and Naden was the man who got that kick away, right on the quarter line. There's the ground is an absolute picture. You look as though you can play cricket on it here. It's so beautifully grassed. Tronk very quickly out of the scrum on that occasion, was able to wrap up Hasler. Ronson running from dummy half. Freeman with a strong tackle. Michael O'Connor at dummy half, electing to run from there. Trips and falls 10 metres out from his quarter line, midfield. Cochrane back to Williams, does a little jig, gets the kick away. Breeze holding it up in the air. Petherbridge will take it. He's going to try and bring it back. And around his boots was Brokenshire. Around the top was Ronson. First touch of the ball in first grade for Allenson. It's a good run, about 15 metres. He's come in on the wing for Geelan, who's out injured. Falla, Ellis, going close to the ruck there. And again, the blindside ruck, and now Manly Warringah have been penalised. We're inside the 5. This will give Western Suburbs the opportunity to open their account, one would think. And that's exactly what Schubert's nominated to do. Schubert, one of the most experienced players in Sydney Rugby League. Started with Eastern Suburbs back in 1975, I believe. A player who had infinite amount of experience in the three-quarters, played on the wing at representative level for Australia, played in the centres, played fullback, and in those days had his hair down around his shoulders. It used to look very much like Russell Fairfax when he ran, the hair waving in the breeze. But he's going to take this kick about 11 metres out from the Manly quarter line, and I guess he's about 23 metres infield from the grandstand side. Now, you won't have any trouble with the distance. The accuracy is the only criteria. Here he goes, moves in, strikes it. Looks pretty good. It's away to the left. The breeze just took it away, but it's well over the dead ball line. It'll be a drop out from the quarter to restart the play. No score here at Arana Park. There's Cochran getting it away downfield. It's going to bounce in front of Petherbridge. He gets to it on the first bounce. Winds up a very tough runner. Again, broken shy around his legs. Well, Petherbridge has run out of a boot. Freeman, first man receive on for Ruck. Runs into Gibbs and Daly. Fella. Tronk. West's working close to the ruck at the moment, trying to create some sort of opening close to the edge of the ruck there. Craig Ellis. Good defence right round the boots again. It's broken shy with 3 top-line tackles. There's a kick downfield. Fielded in the in-goal area by young Park, who's into the first grade side. He's evaded one defender and brings it back to the quarter line. It's a good start for him. So the 2 debutants selected in their first grade games, Park for Manly and Allenson for West, both handled the ball well on the first occasion. That's good. Settle the nerves down. Cochran looking for Gibbs. Gibbs getting sideways, got a bad pass away. It's gone down to the ground and Michael O'Connor has to fall on it. That was brought about by running sideways. Park from dummy half, picked off well by Naden. Manly on the quarter. Gibbs gets a... No, I thought he got the pass then from Daly, but he threw him the dummy and me. Williams. See the way the ball's holding up in the breeze. Petherbridge runs onto it well. He's got support on the outside. He can't bust the tackle. It's Shearer around his legs. Hasler over the top with Ronson. 8 metres into the Manly quarter. There's Allenson again. Made a good break. He's right through the middle. Spring-heeled runner, this fella. Hasler's right round his legs. Fella, Bilbiger. Got a beautiful pass away, but it's gone to ground. Was the player held before he was? Yes. The referee, Mr. Stone, has ruled that Cogger there was held. And this is a much simpler kick directly in front. There's the pass getting away. And it was Martin Meredith who was the player responsible on the State Bank replay for interfering with the player before the pass had come to him. So Ian Schubert now from directly in front. Well, Western Suburbs showing a great willingness to take Manly on the forwards at this stage of the game. Graeme Hughes?
A lot of enthusiasm. The only major problem for them is that they are tending to run one out. On that occasion, it was good to see Cogger back up John Babilja. That's what they've got to do. The inside backs start following these forwards up and don't leave them parked by themselves.
Could be that Goshen thinks that the soft underbelly of the Manly side is in the forwards.
Well, on a day like today, they're certainly going to find that out. The players are certainly going to slow down come the last 10-15 minutes prior to half-time.
Schubert with his second kick, unsuccessful with the first, directly in front, a quarter out. That looks okay. The Western Suburbs on the board here at Arana Park, and they lead Manly by 2 points to 0. Bilbiger. Schubert got a pass away. It's gone to ground. Schubert goes round and picks it up, but it's a knock-on. Graeme Hughes, am I being a little bit too adulatory on our friend Brokenshire? But I do like his tackling technique. He's right round the thighs and in hard.
Adulatory? I'll just go through the dictionary that I've got.
I'll give you the Roche thesaurus a little later on. But do you like the way he tackles?
Well, he does. The one thing that I don't like, though, is the way that he's making himself a nice, easy mark for Ian Freeman. Just running straight up. What he's got to do is try and find a run to the side of...
yes, he's got to try to run at gaps. But
exactly right.
Anyway, here's Vorton running at a gap and making a bit of an inroad, about 5 metres. It seems a bit trite to say it, but there are far too many footballers run at people rather than run at holes. Williams, the fullback, can't get a pass away. He does get a one now to Meredith. Meredith with a nice step. He's got pace. He's going well. He's got a good step, and he's 2 metres out. Petherbridge combined there with Schubert to put him down. Now Manly hot on attack. It's only the first tackle. Out they pump it to Cochran. Cochran looking for support. Can't do anything. Weaves his way back. He's evaded one tackle on the stretch and another 2 metres out. It was a good, very positive run by him. Out to Hasler. The long floating pass out to O'Connor. O'Connor's got it in there to Shearer. Shearer's in for the try. Oh, what clever football there from Michael O'Connor. Just caught the pass, delivered it in one action. Very much like the great rugby union player before him that played rugby league so successfully, John Brass. See it again on the replay. Hasler threw the long cutout pass. It was about 25 metres long. Went to O'Connor, just caught it and gave it beautifully, clean and away. And Shearer, with his great pace, continuing in his try-scoring mode, goes in for the first Manly Warringah try. Graeme Hughes.
coming against the run of play. This Western Suburbs enjoying all the early action in this game. Good backline play. Good ball from O'Connor. A great long ball from Hasler, though, that picked out 2 of the West defenders.
And Shearer continuing his great try-scoring form at the moment. He scored 3 last week against Penrith. So that's 4 in a game and a bit. That's more than I scored in a career. Cochrane getting a lot of booing. The kids are banging the tin. He strikes it. Looks good. Looks great. And it's over the black dot. So from the sideline, Cochrane raises Manly's score to 6. And the Western Suburbs side 2 at Arana Park, Campbelltown. Naden, the man who'll be doing the kicking for Western Suburbs today, has got a try, 4 goals and a couple of field goals. And here's Shearer from the kickoff. 2 metres from the quarter line, midfield. Barclay with a right knee very heavily strapped. Another couple of metres. Away they come to Hasler. Hasler likes to go for a scurry every now and again. I am astonished sometimes at the way Hasler can power with his lightweight looking frame directly through forward defence. I believe he must be enormously powerful, even though he's built on rather slim lines. Williams with a kick downfield, taken by Allenson. He doesn't, they didn't take any prisoners there. Daly was over the top of him. Shivett to Petherbridge, drops it behind him, up to Cogger, then to Naden, to Davis. Hasler trying to steal the ball. West 10 metres inside their own quarter. Scott Tronk, Brisbane player, gets to the halfway line. 6-2 the score in Manly's favour. Fella running from dummy half, but there was good defence there. Barclay was the man. Cogger. Davis, well picked up Gale. A long cut-out pass. It's gone to Naden. Naden's on the stride. He's moving fast. Gets a good pass back on the inside to Petherbridge. Petherbridge to Allenson. It's picked up by Davis, and the referee's going to roll forward. Have to see that one in the replay, but I've got to say, I have to say in his defence that the referee was very well placed. But it didn't occur to me that the ball went forward, but we shall see. We'll have a look at the replay. And here's the State Bank replay with that ricochet pass. That one that Naden received from Gale was a gem of a pass, a cut-out pass. There's the ball coming back on the inside. Petherbridge goes to Allenson. Allenson loses it behind him. Well, it's just one of those ones that the referee got a view of it. He says it was forward. I honestly couldn't rule on that from here. And I don't think you'd probably be any better positioned, Graeme Hughes, to rule on that, would you?
No, it was definitely a line ball position. And as you said, McStone was right there on the spot.
Yeah.
He came up with a very, very brave decision.
He was only 4 metres from the action, so there's a penalty from that scrum, differential penalty. Freeman's on the charge. Allenson down receiving treatment yet again. The cut-out pass gone to Tronk. Tronk trying to power his way through the Manly pack. And there's a penalty against Cochrane, failure to get away. They should take the odds to this and have a kick and goal, I would, at this early stage. Yes, and Schubert's old school too. He's not going to bypass the opportunity to get points on the board. So he's had 1 success from 2. And he's going to bring this out well to widen those goalposts up a little bit, about 1 metre out beyond the quarter. He's about 13 metres in from the sideline. Still the players persisting in holding down tackle players right beside the referee. Cochrane there, the offender. And McStone and the other first-grade referees have shown conclusively that they are going to get involved and blow the pea out of the whistle to get this cancer out of the game. Western Suburbs penalties, 4-2. Scrums to Manly, 2-1. Schubert. Not a bad crowd. I'll get an opinion from Graeme Hughes in a minute as Schubert moves in. He struck that beautifully. It's just away to the right. Didn't miss by the proverbial coat of paint. And that would have been a very nice scoreline. Schubert, 52 goals. He kicked in 86. Has the old-fashioned straight-on style. How do you estimate the crowd, Graeme Hughes?
Well, it's a little bit difficult with the way that there are alterations going on at one end of the ground down to my left. I would suggest possibly 10 to 12,000.
Okay, Petherbridge feels the ball from the quarter line drop. And fellas at dummy half. Freeman runs, rarely passes the football this bloke. That's the only criticism I've got of him. Very wholehearted, very strong. Schubert standing one off the rock. Chomp. They're about 15 metres out from the Manly quarter. Fella. Way to Cogger. Davis. Gale. Seems to have put on some beef this year, Brett Gale. He had the problem with a knee injury and lost a lot of football last year. Schubert. Away to Bilbinger. Bilbinger through the gap. Had Petherbridge on the outside. Couldn't offload in time. Fella. It's away to Craig Ellis. He got an awful pass away, but it's picked up and cleaned up by Freeman. Freeman gets it away and then kicks it to one of his supports, Petherbridge. Petherbridge has gone for a midfield bomb. Williams comes forward, jumps, takes it beautifully. I don't think really Petherbridge had any idea where that ball was going. See that take though by Williams, pulled that from a full arm extension in. It was well taken. Out to Meredith, onto Gibbs. Taken cleanly round the legs there by Bilbinger. Hasler. Daly, good surge to Borton. Borton drops the ball. Western Suburbs come up. There was a real opportunity on the left there for Manly to go a long way if Borton had held that pass. The heat is going to be pretty distressing to these footballers, and was to the under-23s and the reserve grade. Very hot conditions up here. I'd estimate it's in the high 20s. That was an awful pass to be picked up by Davis, but the referee's going to play the knock-on. A lot more care and attention by West needed to the way they deliver the pass to a support. Too many of them go low or too far in front. What some of the younger players don't realise, that playing with a wind at your back, a strong wind, it tends to make the ball float further away from the recipient. They've got to allow for that. In and out the Western Suburbs side. Little Davis got a pass to Nate. Can he score? Borton's there. It's going to Allenson. Allenson's trying to go hard. He might get up and score. He is. It's a good one. Allenson in the corner. He was knocked to the ground but not held and totally legitimate try. And a good one. So the crowd have come alive here at Arana Park. Now here's where the problem started. The little fella Cogger did a scurry. Got the pass away nicely to Naden, who was into a gap. Showed a clean pair of heels, got it to Allenson. Now this is where the problem arose from Manly. Ronson got to him, but couldn't hold him. There were two other defenders, knocked each other out of the way, and Allenson had the forethought to come over and get that ball over the line before he hit the corner post. Again, from a head-on shot, the pass from Cogger was a beauty to Naden. Ronson did affect the tackle, but was then knocked really out of the way by the two Manly players who collided. And there he is, scoring the legitimate try. Good one. So Western Suburbs now have come right back into it. They've got the score up to 6-all. Schubert from only about half a metre in from the sideline, and perhaps 3 metres out from the quarter line. The breeze blowing virtually across and behind him. He will have to aim outside the right-hand upright. The ball will curve, I think, quite dramatically from right to left. There it goes, it's curving, and it's over. Schubert from the sideline. They've put the Western Suburbs Magpies in front here at Arana Park, and they lead by 8 points to 6. There's Hasler. Going for one of his little sprints. He's evaded two players, got it out to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor looking for supports, got it to Shearer. He's about 8 metres from the halfway line. Out to Hasler. Meredith turns it back to Borton. Borton's got himself right into a gap. He's got Barclay on the outside. Runs, throws the dummy, gets it away there to Park. Park goes up the sideline. Can't evade. Very good defence from McCoy. Right round his boots. Now Manly have got a very deep strung back line there, but Barclay chops and goes back to the open side, to the blind side. Now it's to Cochran. Cochran looking for runners and eventually had to take the tackle on the Western Suburbs quarter. Meredith on to Gibbs. Gibbs running strongly. What's a better run from him? Taking a play within about 12 metres now of the Western Suburbs line. Out to Meredith. Big step, and he runs into Freeman. And Bilbinger was there too. Barclay going for across the field kick. It's gone behind the Western Suburbs player Schubert. An excellent tackle there on Cogger from Shearer. Gale trying to use some of that bulk that he's put on in the off-season. Probably do with a little bit of that off. I think he's lost, seems to have lost a little bit of pace. Allenson. Now it's to Fella. Craig Ellis. Legs side from underneath him by Gibbs. Fella. Kick goes downfield. Williams stands his ground and takes it on his own quarter. Should get back towards the halfway line. Cogger's got other ideas and puts him down about 10 metres from there. 8-6 that score in favour of West, though. Lest any of you think it's going to be an automatic Manly win, let me remind you that Western Suburbs won both the games last year. 30-20 at Lidcombe Oval and 22-20 at Brookvale. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Anybody's game. West running with a breeze. Hasler goes for a sprint. Runs into you. Guessed it. Freeman. Now Cochrane's at dummy half. Away to Vaughton. Not being very constructive, Vaughton, at the moment. He's running into people. 14 tackles from Freeman on the opening stanza of this game, the opening 30 minutes. Meredith, a little kick through. It might get to this. He's kicked it ahead. Could be a try coming up. It's been put into the in-goal area and it's shuffled over the dead ball line by McCoy, and that's going to be a line dropout. But it was good football from Meredith. He was able to get a foot to it and kick it beyond Petherbridge there. And the kick was just a fraction too hard. Schubert was there harassing. And McCoy was able to scurry it over the dead ball line. Line drop out to restart. 8-6 the score. A try each. But West have come up with 2 goals from 3 attempts. Manly the 1. It's not a bad kick. It's gone about 70, 65 yards. Williams. They're calling Darryl Williams the new Graham Eady at Brookvale. Shearer trying his luck with a bit of acceleration there. He's very fast. Out to Hasler. Hasler, nobody to pass to. There were too many people standing too far away. Darley got it to Barclay. Quick acceleration. Runs away from support. Got it to Cochrane. Cochrane's got it out to Shearer. Shearer's thrown the dummy and he should have offloaded to Park. That's a penalty against him, and rightly so. He had an unmarked winger on the outside and he's bombed a try by trying to score it himself. Watch it again. Now there's from Cochrane to Shearer. The unmarked winger there. He had McCoy standing in front of him. Nonetheless, he was still going to go further than Shearer and would not have gone with a double movement. That takes the heat off Western Suburbs. And there's a dreadful kick, failing to find touch with the wind at the back. West have had 4 straight penalties. Williams runs it back to the quarter. Meredith very involved in the game, away to Vaughton. There's a penalty against West for failure to get back to 5 yards. Cochrane now 3 metres inside the quarter and only about 10 metres off centre. He strikes that straight and true, so the score's coming up towards half-time. A level at 8-all. That's a try each and 2 goals each. Bilberger got a pass away, and it's a horrible pass. Goes to Allenson. He can't pick it up. He does now, but I would suggest there were maybe 6 or 7 knock-ons in that. It looked like a VFL game for a moment. So he was bouncing the ball along the ground. Off the knees, attempt to pick it up, I'll get it. And there she goes. So scrum now with a Manly feed. 8 metres into Western Suburbs half, directly in the middle of the field. Hasler. Very strong run from the little fella. Got a pass away beautifully to Ronson, and Ronson's going to score the try. He's going to go round. Well, he didn't go round as far perhaps as he could have, but there was a very fine try initiated by Hasler. And I come back to the point of saying, as I was earlier, that Hasler absolutely amazes me with his strength sometimes. He just goes through tackles like that. He holds people off with a fend. He's got 2 hands free to give a perfect pass to Ronson. And Ronson's able to scurry away virtually unmarked up the sideline. Graeme Hughes.
A lot of pressure has been brought about on this Western Suburbs side. They were really starting to search for this half-time siren, coming up with a lot of scrappy play, a couple of errors. Desi has the little men coming into their own again, a lot of pace out of the scrum base, a very, very strong Fen, and the winger had to come in to try and stop him. And, of course, Ronson ended up with a clear run to the line. But the last 5 minutes, Manly have just started to build and build pressure, and the result, a try.
Yes, Ronson clearing away there, not really under any pressure. I thought he perhaps could have gone around another maybe 5 or 6 metres to make it a fraction easier, but the conversion attempt. But McCoy came from the Western Suburbs right wing, right across, and did start to harass him, so probably took the odds to that. Only seconds to go to half-time. The score 12-8 in Manly's favour. Cochrane, about 14 metres in from the sideline, about 3 metres inside the quarter, kicking into and across the breeze. Well, that one's not successful. The score remains 12-8, with perhaps only seconds to go. The Hooter may even beat them before they get to the halfway line. There's the Hooter now, so it'll be just time for Williams to catch the ball, run it back, or whatever he's going to do, take a tackle. And that's the end of the section for the first 40 minutes here at Arana Park, Campbelltown, with Manly leading by 12 points to 8. The scorers for the Manly side have been Dale Shearer, David Ronson, a try each, Mal Cochrane, 2 goals. And for the Western Suburbs side, a try to John Allenson and 2 goals to Ian Schubert, 1 a goal and 1 a penalty goal. And Graeme Hughes on the sideline. Do I miss my guess, or is that breeze stronger now than it was in the first half?
Well, it has certainly picked up again. A great opportunity for Manly to come storming home, and let's just see how well they do use this breeze.
I hope our friends at RBN2 Wagga, taking their first live telecast of the Sydney football and the State Bank big game, are enjoying it down there. And we'll welcome you to the very large family that watch it around New South Wales and Queensland. All right, Western Suburbs in possession now with Scott Tronk coming away with a bumping run. Just knocked Paddy Borton right out of the way, and Borton's taking a long time to get to his feet. Just trotting back into position now. Now Freeman pumping it up around the middle of the ruck. Last tackle. Actually goes to Naden. Naden's getting a kick downfield. It's going to go to Park, the young wing 3-quarter. He's going to try his pace on Bilberger. He's done him for pace. That's a good run too. He's had to run virtually 60 metres to make 15 metres forward, but he did it very well. Michael O'Connor got a pass away to Cochrane. Cochrane well handled by Schubert. That was a good front-on tackle. Well, not so old, but I say that veteran player, Schubert, is still a very effective footballer. Meredith out to Barclay. Barclay streams back, gets it into Borton. Borton throws the dummy. He's gone up the middle of the field. He's accelerated. Got it to Gibbs. Gibbs looking for support there. Gets a pass away nicely to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor run around Brett Gale with the greatest of ease. Throws the dummy. Can't get a pass away. Took the play up towards the quarter line. Western Suburbs end. Now it's out to Hasler. On to Brokenshire. Brokenshire's going to pump it up again. Runs straight into Freeman. His head snapped back there with the force of that impact. Craig Ellis was there too. Manly on the last tackle, out to Hasler. Hasler, Meredith, out to Borton. Borton goes to the cutout pass. Got it straight to Shearer. Shearer's accelerating. He's got a pass back inside. He's got it to young Park. And Park's lost the ball over the line. Would you believe? He was actually hanging over the line then. And Petherbridge, I believe, was the man responsible for holding him back. Was able to keep him in the field of play, and the ball suddenly popped forward. Watch it again. There was a try there for all seasons, and he could have got the ball down. I'm laughing because it seemed a little bit funny that there's one guy straining to go one way, and the other one just as desperate to keep him out. But that was good work from Western Suburbs. Bilberger now, very close to being a try there in the opening stanza of the second half. 12-8 the score. Manly lead. Scott Tronk. Now West have got a very deep back line. Out to Davis. Davis to Gale. Straightens it up. Can't get a pass away. There was Brokenshire's arm came there and locked his arm to his side. Fella. Meredith the tackler. And there's a penalty against Meredith for failure to get away from the tackle player. Nobody's going to argue. Nobody in this commentary position. a kick off the side of the boot, which only makes about perhaps 8 metres. Now Freeman loses the ball, knocks it backwards, play on, says the referee. Got it out to McCoy finally. Bilbinger elects to run from dummy half. He's a bit of a workhorse, this fellow. A great tackle from Gibbs. I've got to compliment Gibbs in this game. His tackling has been superb. It's been right round the boots. Davis, a little 5'8", very close to being through. He's gone through a Hasler tackle, and now Meredith has come and picked him up from behind with a good chase. Now West's in a good attacking position. On to Craig Ellis. He pumps it up strong and hard. Takes it to within about 7 metres of the Manly goal line. Out to Cogger. Cogger to Nader. Nader to Featherbridge. The kick through. It's going to be to Williams. Williams fields it in the in-goal area. He had to dive full length on it. The crowd are booing because they consider Featherbridge was taken out of the action. We'll let you see what you think. Well, I think perhaps there was a little bit of 402 for overacting on that one. He ran past Cochrane and then fell. No, I think our friend Rod Featherbridge perhaps was having a bit of a piece of the referee on that occasion. That's a pretty ordinary drop kick from there. It only brings it out 30 metres. Bilbinger through the tackle of Hasler and into the quarter. Oh, and Cogger's run and dropped the ball, would you believe? He's so involved in what he was going to do, he failed to go with the football. Okay, the scrum just inside the Manly quarter. 12-8 the score, Manly leads, 2 tries to 1 and 2 goals each. Hasler's in possession, had the ball stripped from him. Western Suburbs come up with it, Cogger's there. It's a dangerous one. Out to Craig Ellis, the pass has been thrown along the ground, but it's Manly inside the 5, and it'll be a penalty kick to Western Suburbs. Schubert just outside the quarter, about 4 metres in from the sideline, kicking into the breeze. It's a good-looking kick, and it's over. So that score sets that fraction closer again. Manly 12, Western Suburbs 10. Fella. Barclay hit beautifully around the legs by Scott Tronk. Cochrane broken shy. Again, Cochrane at dummy half. He's had plenty of work to do and done it well. Holding down the tackle player. Craig Ellis, the man. And those players will be, everyone will be playing in the 15 metres this side of the field shortly. That's the shadows coming across there. It'll probably be 7 or 8 degrees cooler in there. They'll probably all want to score tries up the left-hand side of the field. On to Park, the left winger. Oh, and he's through with a big step. He's got Hasler on the inside. Got a pass to Hasler, and Hasler's going to score. Oh, what a great run from the young fella. With a big right foot step, he came beautifully off his right foot and straightened it up. And he should get a lot of applause from his teammates for that one. Here he is running diagonally, and the big step goes inside Scott Tronk. He's a constable in the local Manly Constabulary. Did exactly the right thing, came off his right foot again and did Featherbridge. Got the pass to Hasler, and I commend Hasler's strength there. That great ability to press his way through tackles. Watching it again from side on, you can see he's forced in a diagonal position and then the quick step. He's one of those very lucky players who can step and not lose speed. And he did perfectly well there and got the pass to Hasler, who probably should have been held back by Davis there, but was a pretty ordinary one. Graeme Hughes.
Superb individual football there. Western Suburbs paying for it the way they did on Wednesday night in the National Panasonic. The failure to cover the defence on the inside. Ian Freeman, who's played strongly up the middle of the rucks for Western Suburbs, was the man in question.
Well, Des Hasler's the try scorer, but he's going to log that one down to the youngster in the side, Stephen Park, who really couldn't have done better in that run. It was just perfect. Obviously a boy with a future. From the quarter line, 10 metres in, Cochrane strikes at the breeze, has got it, driven it away to the left. So the score, Manly 16, Western Suburbs 10, and they're not out of danger yet. Don't go away, there's plenty of football left in this match. Back they come towards the halfway line. Borton's got it. Slowing down, gets a one-handed pass inside to Hasler. Hasler's got it away there nicely. It's out to Barclay. Barclay's got it to Brokenshire. Brokenshire, well, he has the ball stolen from him. That's the unpardonable sin. He had support inside and out, failed to do a pass to either player, and then had the ball stolen. Featherbridge, up the middle of the field, chased by Darley, gets it to Gale. Then Gale got it into Cogger, and they're starting to stream through the Manly defence now. Fella on to Craig Ellis. Belvedere just on the Manly quarter line. Manly slow to recover. Bit of a roll on Western Suburbs. Out to Cogger. Down there to Gale. Gale steps off the right foot, goes back infield. He's going up the blind side. It's a long run. And he's picked off about 8 metres out from the Manly line. Manly in disarray at the moment. Here's Schubert on the boil. The pass has gone to Tronk. Tronk's thrown it anywhere. It's gone to Davis. Davis is going to get a pass away. Got it to Schubert, I think. And he's put down only a couple of metres out. It was Davis instead. Who's got it? It's gone into the in-goal area. Williams has picked it up. Excitement aplenty here at Campbelltown. We're seeing a replay of the action there on the State Bank replay. That's Williams bringing it back, error after error, but exciting action. On to Gibbs. Gibbs looking for support, got his hands through and copped a good one round the head then too. That will rattle his teeth. That is one that he's going to, there it is. And that was a high tackle in my view. But I guess if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. But I'm full of admiration for the way Gibbs has played today. His tackling has been low. He's kept himself out of the referee's eye. And there's something to be said for the players that turn the other cheek and don't get involved being looked after by the referees. 16 points to 10, about 18 and a half minutes to go. Still anybody's game. It's out the Manly side. There's a kick downfield. This could be a try. No, I'm not sure of the pace of McCoy, but there's O'Connor coming through, and he does very well. And he's evaded the tackle of O'Connor. Yes, that was well thought out. The fullback was standing up at the three-quarter line, not at home. Now McCoy picks it up from Featherbridge. He's making a good run, good side step. Got a pass away there to Naden. Naden's got it out to Davis. Davis comes inside and has the buries him. Up he goes and down he goes. Oh, well picked up by Gale. Some chancy passing. They're back to halfway. Fella on to Freeman. Gibbs goes in with a shoulder. Barclay with the underneath tackle. On the blind side they go. They've got an overlap out there. No, Manly have filled in. That's the tackle of Borton was an effective one. Now Davis going for the kick. Might be a bit far. Williams will stand his ground and take this. He's got some defence coming at him. Fella's there. Craig Ellis is there. Looked like a right hand that missed there too. Shearer, dummy half. Manly in a bunch at the moment. You can throw an Indian blanket over the entire Manly side. They're all in a heap. Darley got a pass away. It's gone behind Shearer. Shearer looks very weary footballer. Well, Western Suburbs get a sniff of a win in this game. They'll be terribly hard to beat. Oh, Hasler nearly loses it. Runs behind one of his own teammates. The crowd roar for it, but I don't believe it impeded a tackler. I don't believe it was a Shepherd. Williams just got his kick in. That went over McCoy's head. He took it well. Got a pass away to Featherbridge. Featherbridge is... well, O'Connor was underneath that as Steve Park came in and tackled him over the top. There's Park again. Cogger onto Schubert. Schubert looking for support. There's nobody there. They were too far away from him. He'll have something to say about that as the captain. Onto Scott Tronk. Tronk. Davis. Davis, good step. Still going. Caught from behind by Daly and Monston. Out to Fella. On to Bilberger. They're thin on the ground out here, Manly. Goes out to Allenson. He's tackled inside the Manly quarter. It's the last tackle coming up. 16-10 Manly lead. Williams coming out for this. He's not going to get to it. 6 to go. Schubert in possession. Gets a pass out there to McCoy. And he's well and truly tackled there by Park, who, with an assist from O'Connor. And Western Suburbs got their tails up right now. Still about 4 tackles to go. Fella onto Bilberger. He's charging at the line. He gets within half a metre. They're only half a metre away now. Chock. Oh, he went through one tackle there and looked as though he was about to burst the Manly defence asunder. Penalty. Again, Hasler, the transgressor, failure to get off the tackle player. Chock's the man that's down. We're watching a State Bank replay. And moves in. And not that one. But he's done the next best thing. 13 minutes to go, we make it. The next best thing, he's kicked it dead, so Manly have got to give it back to them from the quarter-line dropout. So that's all a goal kicker can do when he misses, make sure it goes dead. There's the kick. The ball's going to fall free for Petherbridge to take on the first tackle. And Petherbridge taken by Cochrane and Borton. 5 metres, he's outside of halfway. Now Bilberger through a defender. Some tackles being shrugged off in this Manly defence at the moment. Trock again. And I think Gibbsy's got a long memory. He came in on that occasion with one of the few high tackles that he's made. Craig Ellis. It's up. It's Fella running from dummy half. They've got a bit of a roll on again. They're getting Manly running backwards. Last tackle coming up. On the quarter line, midfield. It goes back to Naden, and there's a drop kick at goal. It's successful. Yes, it is. That's not a bad kick. And, of course, that puts them within a try and a goal for a win. So Naden's, that's his 3rd field goal this year. And it's not a bad kick either. He got it onto the boot very well. So this cliffhanger up here, 16-11. Well, it's in and out the Manly side. Meredith had a fullback running on the outside of him. No communication then. Some of the Manly players look dead set leg weary. There's a bit of cloud cover at the moment as Park comes up with another good sidestep. Out to Hasler. Hasler out to Borton. Borton's tackled 5 metres from the halfway line. Some of the Manly players really look gone. Graeme Hughes, any opinions?
I thought that Bobby Thornton might have been searching to the reserve bench a little bit earlier. They are very, very tired. They haven't had a lot of play with the football in the last 15 minutes or so. And now what they've got to do is just try and work it downfield. And the field goal's important.
Cutting in now. Meredith sped it to Hasler. Hasler out to O'Connor. O'Connor steps off the right foot, gets it there to Park. Can Park get the ball down? I don't believe he can, but he's tackled a half a metre short. The young fella's been so close to scoring 2 tries today. O'Connor tried to do a kick. It's ricocheted off a West player, and they are in possession, a metre out from their line. Well, action aplenty here. I don't quite know what was in Michael O'Connor's mind. A rubber-type kick across field, perhaps. There's Allenson, the winger, chiming in from the left. He's about 60 metres away from his normal habitat. Freeman. Time running out here. Both sides have got to do it. They've got to do it pretty soon. There's Lampkin having his first touch of the football. Last tackle coming up. Manly wingers haven't dropped back. Oh, it's gone into Naden. He picked that up beautifully. Looks to support. Got it to Craig Young. Back to him. It's a forward pass. And the referee couldn't have been better positioned. Let's see it again. This is what the referee had a look at. The pass from Naden to Craig Ellis and back again is the one he's worried about. Line ball perhaps, but that's the way he saw it. He was directly in line with it. It's now a very important feed to the Manly side. Time to go. Hasler runs from dummy half, or from the base of the scrum. About 5 minutes to go. Vaughton goes for the long cutout pass to Shearer. Shearer steps, drives himself, gets a pass to O'Connor. O'Connor should score here. He will. Beautiful side step off the left foot. Right underneath the posts. Now that would have to be the ball game. There is no player in the Sydney competition who can so monumentally defeat a fullback or a player in front of him with a step and a swerve as Michael O'Connor. Shearer did beautifully. The pass actually ricocheted off Naden's shoulder. Look at this. Change of direction. No slackening in pace at all. A delicate and beautiful expression of a great skill. That great ability to run fast and change direction without decreasing his speed. Now Shearer's done a beautiful job on the inside. The ball actually touched Naden on the shoulder. Now watch Michael O'Connor. He's now in the process of making yet another fullback look pretty ordinary. And I don't blame Featherbridge at all. A great try, Graeme Hughes.
Super try. Dale Shearer is the man that certainly did well there, and it just so happens that all the tries that have been scored today have always come after that little bit of pressure where the teams have had the ball for 2 or 3 sets of 6 tackles. The conditions were just so hot, so much pressure, and the forwards, of course, plenty of gaps out wide because the players started to get worn down.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's only just become a certainty that Manly will win this game now. Up till 1 minute ago, there was no certainty. Cochrane comes in and from a very adjacent position directly in front makes it 22 points Manly, Western Suburbs 11. Well, this Western Suburbs side are capable of beating more sides than will beat them. Been plenty to commend at this game in the way of some splendid tries scored. Well, they're just passing it, nobody's going forward. Cogger, what a Craig Ellis, and what a top tackle from Ron Gibbs. His defence today has been excellent. Scott Chonk. Naden. Cogger. Lampkin. Daly comes over the top, or tries to. Went past him. Cochrane. Fowler. Sherbert showing the ball to Tronk. There's where injury time. There's the hooter right now. The kids come swarming onto the field. So it's been a win to the Manly side by 22 points to 11. Just a look at the scorers for the Manly side. Shearer, Ronson, Hasler and O'Connor have scored tries. Cochrane has kicked 3 goals. So the Western Suburbs side, in their 11 points, Allenson scored a try, Schubert 3 goals and Naden a field goal. 22 to 11.
Last season was a good one. The game's on the up and up. This year, it'll be even better. The battle for the Winfield Cup. True, we've lost some giants. They were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns. They promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. 'Cause whether unknown or famous, you gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
Plenty of action, plenty of upsets in Series 3 of the 87 Winfield Cup. Let's now go to all the highlights of every other game.
Leichhardt Oval, referee Bill Harrigan worked overtime in the clash between Souths and Balmain. Went over the top by Chisholm. And he's been called out by referee Harrigan, and he's been given 10 minutes. Balmain took full advantage on Souths playing a man short. Turning their backs to the opposition. Scotty Gale jacked beautifully in the line. Fingertip control by Gartner. A chance for a try. Brooks and a beautiful tackle by Fennick. But it wasn't long before Souths were left with 11 men. He's to his feet now. Well, he's been called out by the referee Harrigan. And he's been given 10 minutes. Watch for Souths prop Lindsay Johnson in the top left hand of your screen. Bevan, taken out by Johnson. He's been charged with attacking the head of an opposing player. Bevan's the man injured. Touch judge reported. Johnson's been sent off. South Sydney now down to 10 men. Sirenen makes good progress upfield, only about 2 metres out from the South Sydney line. Pressure now on the South defence. Can it hold? Gale through one tackle, through another. Try! Elias again a dummy half. Ran cleverly. Gave it to Sirenen. Second try to Balmain. And that's Pearce. Upfield, turned it back. Nicely taken by Conlon. That's Elias. Now to Hemsley. Balmain on the burst again. Scotty Gale. Support outside of Gartner. Back inside to Gale for the corner. Hits the corner post. No try. But South did come back despite the lack of numbers. Pennick. Roberts. Oh, beautiful pass for Blake. Pull back to beat. Gary Jack. Great tackle by the Balmain fullback. Eventually the try came. South Sydney. They got the overlap. Webb for the corner. He'll beat the cover. Great try to South Sydney. Bacon touch. That's a great looking kick, and Souths are back in this ball game. But then Harrigan was back in the spotlight. And Sirenen, don't argue from Big Paul Sirenen, but Paul Sirenen's been given 10 minutes. Fennick, a bit slow to get off Brooks. Penalty against South Sydney, against Mario Fennick. In fact, Fennick's been sent from the field by Harrigan. The floodgates open as Balmain raced in 5 second-half tries. Again out through Gale. Sirenen, oh, he just strolled through that defence to try to Balmain. Conlon. Here's the overlap, Gartner. And Gartner goes in for another Balmain try. Sirenen ended up with a hat-trick of tries as Balmain ran out easy winners in a game that will be talked about all week. Hat-trick for Paul Sirenen. He's in the clear. Hardwick. That's a great try. Meanwhile, at Penrith Park, the Bulldogs scored the only try of the first half to lead by 8 points to 4. Michael Hagan, the try scorer. The Panthers stormed back at the second half. Alexander to Izzard, and finally to Mark Robertson, who crossed wide out, and Penrith were back in the ball game. However, Penrith were to play the penalty for some sloppy defence late in the match, which cost them victory. Here's Kelly to Langmack, to Sandy Campbell, and a try to Canterbury. It was a comeback match for Steve Mortimer, and he made his impact for the match-winning try. A solo burst upfield. He finally found Mark Bugden in support, and Canterbury were home by 16 points to 10. At the Sydney Cricket Ground, the St George outfit were on the hallowed turf for the first time in '87. Brian Johnston handled inside his own quarter, finally took the final pass to give St George a fantastic lead early in the first half. Although looking impressive in the first half, their defence fell away in the second. Andrew Eddinghausen scoring a soft try. But how about this for a soft one? Sorensen crosses, and Cronulla win the match by 22 points to 14. The North Sydney Bears finally came home to their new look park at North Sydney Oval, but prop forward Adrian Toole won't remember the homecoming. He was knocked out in the second tackle of the match for the third time in as many matches. Anxious North Sydney officials took him to the local hospital. It was a trialless match. Horry Hastings' drop goal gave the Roosters a 5-4 victory.
Plenty of action in Series 3 and plenty of upsets. Let's just confirm all the weekend's results for you now. Canberra started off with that big victory on Saturday over Illawarra. East just getting home. Canterbury just getting home at Penrith Park in the final minutes there with 2 tries. Balmain a huge win. Cronulla in a big upset. And Manly 22, West 11 in the State Bank big game. The premiership table has 3 outright leaders. Balmain, Canberra and East. Manly just a point behind. And then Canterbury, Cronulla on 4 points. Next weekend's games are Canberra versus Norths, Cronulla and Balmain, Souths and Penrith, East and St George, Canterbury and West, Manly and Parramatta. Illawarra, of course, has the bye. Well, plenty of upsets, and they look like they're going to continue right through the season of 1987. I trust that you've enjoyed all the highlights. Until next time, Graeme Hughes, goodbye for now.